Okay, it's time to take on the final day stage of Sonic Unleashed. We're literally at the end of the game now, so we're nearly there. All we have to do is just mosey on down through the hub world, back into the entrance stage, and run off into the sunset. Now, basically, Jungle Joyride Day is probably the stage that you will struggle to get into because you need a level 7 Sun medal counter to get in, which means you need 120 Sun medals. But if you've been following me, then you will have probably collected enough. So yeah, let's get on with the hardest day stage in the game, and, well, arguably hardest. And probably the most beautiful stage in the game. I mean, just look at that, it's just absolutely stunning. Now, the Sonic savvy among you will probably recognise a bit of the music for Jungle Joyride Day. Music being Jungle Joyride Day, if you hadn't guessed. And basically what it is that part of the background music derives from Back in Time in Sonic R, which is used in the Regal Ruin course. Now, the bit that specifically I recognise, or because I listened to Back in Time not that long ago, is it's the doo-doo, doo-doo that's going on in the background. That's the main bit that's from Back in Time. I say, Sonic R's soundtrack, I think, gets a lot of flack for being not very Sonic-y, but it's an absolutely beautiful soundtrack, and I believe it's TJ Davis. She does a phenomenal job. I mean, say what you like about Supersonic Racing. It's very well sung, and it's incredibly catchy. I mean, if you've watched me play Sonic Generations, you will know. It's just like, everybody's Supersonic Racing, gotta get your feet right on the ground, and so on and so forth. Now, Jungle Joyride Day is absolutely stunning. The slight problem that it suffers from is some rather bad frame rate issues, particularly in the jungle here. This might be because it's individually rendering all of the foliage. You don't quite know, but it chugs a bit there. Although, funnily enough, in Project Unleashed, which a bunch of modders did with... Basically, a bunch of modders got together. I think it was a bunch of modders, might have just been one guy. And what they did was took the day stages from Unleashed and ported them into the Generations engine, essentially. So you get to play through the Unleashed levels with Generations physics and controls. Obviously, Generations plays a lot better than Unleashed. And in said mod, they actually managed to get Jungle Joyride Day here running without any frame rate issues. About 60 frames per second, I believe. So, pretty much, I think Sonic Unleashed probably could have done with a bit more time in the oven. If only to sort out issues like that, because in a game where you are going so fast, you want to be able to react incredibly quickly, and frame rate issues do slow that down. Also, I'm terrible at pushing switches. If you hadn't guessed yet, also, if you fall into the water, you die instantly, so make sure to conserve that boost. I have to say, I didn't do a fantastic run of Jungle Joyride Day here, but these things happen. Now I have to say, I do like Jungle Joyride Day. It's just, I think it's a little bit too long. I mean, it's just maybe just over 6 minutes long, roughly. I think the kind of it's okay for a final day stage length, but when you've got like it's the reason that Planet Wisp is not great in Sonic Generations. It's just a bit too long to be in a Sonic level, which is why like Heroes is absolutely insane for expecting you to do 10-minute stages. It just doesn't work. Also, they like trying to squash you here. There's just something about the mashy spiky plates that does it for them. Now, if I recall correctly, that little transition there actually caused some grief for the people doing Project Unleashed, because what it does is it takes you to a completely separate bit of the level. So transitioning perfectly between those two shots is actually quite difficult. In the end, they did manage to fix it, but can't quite remember how, but they managed to sort it out reasonably well, so I have to say bravo to the people who did Project Unleashed, because I think pretty much if you merged Generations and Unleashed, you would have probably the best Sonic game to date that's been released. Because obviously you have the likes of Sonic Lost World, which as of this recording has only just been recently announced, but by the time this part is on the YouTubes, I can't remember if I just said that, it'll be a little while since that announcement. Yeah, considering how much I died in that level, that's not bad. And I have to say, I died a lot. I'm not great at that. But I'm quite proud of myself that it's only the last 2 day stages that I've feasibly struggled with. Oh. Yeah, that can happen. I would cut it out, but nah. I'm too lazy. And I did not mean to do that. Oh. Because basically what we've got to do now is go into the boss of Adabat, which is a daytime boss. So, yeah, hitting that was a complete accident. And there it is. Looking out over that beautiful ruin, I guess. Let's take on the Egg Lancer. Now, in the bestiary that you can see in this version of the game, it mentions that the Egg Lancer is simply a combination of leftover parts from the Egg Beetle and the Egg Devil Ray. And you can see that because it's got the pincers of the Egg Beetle and the wonderful lasers of the Egg Devil Ray. Does look rather different between PSP 360 versions and the PS2 and Wii versions, because here it's got some the pincers are pink, but in the PS2 Wii version they're orange. Not sure which design I prefer. Still, it is. It's a fun boss, nonetheless. Apparently, the Wii PS2 version is significantly harder than the PS2 360 version. But it is much more similar to previous fights, whereas this one is much more dynamic, I guess you could say. Also, this version adopts some boss traits that were found in the Wii PS2 version, in that you can only attack when he approaches you, you can't hit him multiple times in one go, and he uses traps and attack strategies rather than just trying to kill you. Also, once again, in the Wii PS2 version he's controlled by Eggman, but here he is controlled by SA55, who I will continue to call Ergo, even though we have now confirmed that his name is now Orbot. Because he's not Orbot at this moment in time. His voice is different, and he's not painted red, therefore he is not Orbot just yet. But yes, it's piloted by SA55 and the little fighter robots. Now, if I had been better playing this game, I could have killed him in that quick time event, and I'm gutted that I didn't, but yeah, take that. There's also an enemy in Sonic 06 with the same name.
Sweet.
Definitely sweet. I'm happy with that. I don't care that I got hit so many times. An S rank is fine by me. And so now we can restore another continent. Oh yeah!
What's wrong, buddy?
Huh? Oh, right. I'm just scared.
What's there to be scared of?
It's just another old temple. It doesn't look like there's anyone around either.
That's not what I mean. That's not... Never mind. I'm fine. Let's go.
That's impressive. I have to say, that mural looks incredibly interesting. Oh dear. Chip, why'd you have to touch it?
I welcome your return. Messenger of day, of light, of rebirth.
Interesting.
Sonic, I remember now. All of it.
Ah. And so, we now finally find out the truth about Chip. I believe at some point during that scene, / all of it, we heard the song cutscene Chip's Change. But I'm not 100% certain. there's less tracks on the soundtrack than there were in that scene. So, yeah. I believe this track here is Chip's Memories. Well, cutscene Chip's Memories. It's a really sweet cutscene.
My real name is Light Gaia. I draw power from the day and light and guide the planet to its rebirth. My job was to protect the planet from Dark Gaia. But Eggman broke the world apart himself, and Dark Gaia and I were awakened before we should have been. That's why Dark Gaia broke apart, and I didn't know who I was. I didn't remember what I was supposed to do. All because this isn't the proper time of awakening.
Time of awakening?
Dark Gaia grows over millions of years, then rises to destroy the world. And I put it all back together. We've been doing this over and over, again and again, since the very beginning of time.
So you were asleep all this time? For millions of years?
That's impressive.
Yes, for ages and ages.
I bet it's thanks to you. Even at night when I'm like this, I'm still myself, not like all the other people we've seen. You must have been protecting me this whole time.
I haven't done anything, Sonic. You're the reason you haven't changed at all. You're too strong to lose yourself.
I'm the reason?
Yeah, you never doubt yourself, no matter what. You never give in to the night or the darkness inside your heart. I think it's because I knew that about you. That's why I wanted you to help me. It's been so fun, getting to see the world. I've lived here since the planet began, but I didn't know a thing about it. That it's so pretty, or that food tastes so good, or that people are so nice. I'm so glad I got the chance to discover all that with you, and I'm so glad that you helped me find my memory. Sonic, I will never, ever forget you. Thank you, Sonic. Goodbye, friend.
Hey!
Whoa, what?
Where do you think you're off to all by yourself?
What? But my memory is back now, and, well, from here on out, it's my responsibility, so, I mean, there's no reason for you to come along, so I should just...
Do I need a reason to want to help out a friend?
Thanks, Sonic. Yeah!
Oh, I do love that cutscene, it's so sweet. I believe the music for the second half of that cutscene was, cutscene No Reason. With that wonderful, wonderful return to, the world adventure just playing. Well, as I've said many times before, I always do love a leitmotif in, video games and even in movies as well. It's just something about the leitmotif that is just absolutely wonderful, and it really pulls together an experience in a manner that not a lot of games and films do anymore. And I've always been a fan of the leitmotif, and I always will be. Because it's just something that makes a game a lot more special, to me at least. So yes, we're about to go on to the last temple. You do get the choice of being nice or mean to Amy. I'll be nice. Just because it's rather sweet. And also because it makes it... There's the suggestion of continuity with Sonic and the Black Knight because of that. So, I like that. So, we have to hop onto the tornado to get to the last part of the game. So, That's what we're going to be doing very shortly. The game is almost over, and the world is almost restored. So, let's get on with that. Oh yeah.